The Greens finished above the Conservatives for the first time in a national election. The party's deputy leader, Amelia Womack, joins us now from Westminster. Very good morning to you. Thank you for your time this morning. Can you give us your first sort of your overview of what the Greens managed to achieve?
So at the start of this, we had 3 MEPs and now we have 7. We've built on our track record of delivering in the European Parliament, whether that's tackling tax evasion, tax dodging, climate change, air pollution, environmental destruction, austerity, and then we're proving our ability in regions where we simply haven't won before. And I think that's as a result of our strength in the council elections and so many people realising the power of voting Green and the power of Green representation when you get Green representation. Or
people wanted someone who had a clear voice on Brexit, and there was you.
Absolutely.
And there was the Liberal Democrats, and maybe they were in the voting booth going, do you know what, this time I'll go Green. It may be that some of the issues you were talking about didn't loom large in that decision.
Well, I think we had such a strong portfolio of policies, and I think the fact that we were talking about Brexit and we were talking about climate change, and as well as these other issues that we've been proving ourselves time and time again, not just here in the UK but across the whole of Europe as well. And I think what's clear to me is that people want action and not words, and that's on issues such as climate change, where we've been told we've got just 11 years to take positive action. And you can see that the European elections, where we can work internationally on our shared problems, are the best place to get a clear voice where that kind of change can happen. But those other issues, we were talking about them time and time again, and I think it is powerful to be making sure that the work that Molly Scott-Cato has done in the Southwest, the work that our London MEPs have been doing for 20 years, we have proven the power of Green, we have proven what Green MEPs can do, and I think it is that track record as well that has meant that so many people have seen the Green Party as their home in these elections.
There has been one major winner in this election, and that is the Brexit Party and Nigel Farage. What do you make of their success?
I fundamentally think that the way that vote is split, and when you add up the number of very clearly Remain votes of where we stand on that we need to be bringing this back to the people with a people's vote, because we need to be making sure that now we've got a deal on the table that people have a final say. But what I also hope is that with so much division in our country, that as all of the parties need to be rallying together to make sure that we have a very strong, clear voice against all hate that has emerged during these elections.
The uncomfortable truth, of course, is that notwithstanding the success that you've had in these elections, and this applies to you, of course, and to the Brexit Party, you are not represented in Parliament. I mean, Brexit Party not at all, you very little, and that is where the decision over what happens next and all the other issues that you're interested in will be made.
But we've got a formidable force in Parliament. I mean, I feel that Caroline Lucas does the work of more than one MP. But I think fundamentally the fact that we are building on we've got more councillors than we've ever had before. We've got more people in more places working on this issue. And the fact that we are a united voice when it comes to the EU and our future in Europe, and a Remain party, that it's not just that Parliament is currently in gridlock. And that's why it's the people's vote and bringing this back to the people that is so powerful. And when that happens, because I feel like it's the only way out of this mess, then our party will be ready to campaign.
Can I just ask one last thing, if I may? If there were to be a general election, are you confident that your vote that has been seen in this election would be replicated?
I mean, you saw us topping the poll. You saw us topping vote shares in places across the country, in Bristol, in Brighton and Hove, in Norwich. The possibilities here are very clear, and I think that that if a general election happens, then it will be we will be campaigning strongly in a number of areas. But I think that but for me, the fact that the two-party system is clearly broken. We saw that in the council elections. We're seeing that in the European elections. I think this is a real opportunity to make sure that we're talking about things like proportional representation, because even the Conservatives seem like they will need a little, if we're going to get that representation, even the Conservatives feel like they should be talking about proportional representation at the moment. But I think that there is an opportunity for us in the general election. But for me, a people's vote must come first, because if we have a general election, it will only be a few marginal seats that will make those decisions. If we had a people's vote, then it'll be one person, one vote, and that's the only way that you can have a clear outcome on Brexit and what the people truly want.
Amelia Womack, thank you very much for your time this morning. Amelia Womack is Deputy Leader of the Green Party.